Hello, grade 8. Today we're going to work on finding the value of a term using the general rule. The general rule is a very powerful tool that allows us to find any term of a pattern, and it's also going to allow us to find which number term is equal to some value. So today we're going to have a very short micro lesson. We are just going to go through 3 different things using the example that is here below. We've got a number pattern, we're going to find the general rule, and then find 2 different values of 2 different terms, the 15th term and the 120th term. The first part of the problem is to find the general rule. And in this particular pattern, we can label it term 1 for the first term 2, second term 3, third term. And at the bottom then we've got n equals 1, n equals 2, and n equals 3 for each of the terms. The next thing is to look at what's happening between each of the terms. If we go from 18 to 15 and 15 to 12, what's happening each time? And now we've become experts. I think most of you can see that we are subtracting 3. And if we're subtracting 3, our difference or common difference is going to be minus 3. So using the knowledge that we've got, we know that the general rule can be expressed as term n or Tn is equal to the constant difference times the number plus c. And we usually substitute in the first term's inputs and outputs. So T1 is equal to 18 and n is equal to 1. So now our job is to substitute, and T1, the 18, goes on the left side, minus 3 for the common difference times 1 goes on the right side, substituting in for those variables that are there. We now need to solve the equation, and we are going to have to move the minus 3 to the other side by adding the opposite. So we're going to have plus 3 on both sides, and then we discover c is equal to 21. Once we've done that, we can then write the final rule. In this case, the general rule will be Tn equals minus 3n plus 21. And this brings us to the heart of today's lesson, where we use a general rule to find things that would be difficult and time-consuming if we had to do it the old-fashioned way. For example, if we had to find T120 or the 120th term, it could fill up a whole page of notes as we calculate this and add each and every time. A few important notes. In our homework and on an assessment, we often will receive something in English, 120th term. We need to convert this into mathematical notation so that we know that it's equal to T120. In addition, we also need to remember that wherever the T, for example, if it's T15 is happening, we know that n in that same place is 15, and n in this place is 120. It's very, very easy. And now with that knowledge at hand, we're going to be able to figure out and calculate the value of these terms. In the first substitution, we really just need to add in n is equal to 15, right here next to the minus 3, and we're going to determine then what T15 is equal to. So now we substitute in, it's very, very basic stuff. Just be really careful with your integers and use your calculator where you need to. So for n was 15, we put it right here next to the minus 3, and we need to multiply. And when we multiply, we get minus 45 plus 21. Combining those together, we're going to discover that T15 is equal to minus 24. Again, be very, very careful with your integers. Now we're ready to do the last example. We are going to remember again that where T120 occurs, n is equal to 120, and we're going to use the general rule. Substituting in, I'm going to put the 120 in for n, and I am now going to work out mathematically with integers what is happening. So I get minus 360 there to add to the 21. Again, be very careful with your integers. If you use your calculator to check your work, it's hard to go wrong. I get a final answer, T120 is equal to minus 339. And that's it, folks. It's very, very easy. You just need to do careful substitution, and it's very hard to go wrong. For homework to practice, do all of exercise 4. We are now able to do all of that and get it done as soon as possible. We only have one topic left. Good luck. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.